And good morning and welcome. This is Boles.tv, BOLES.TV. I'm David Boles, and it's nice to see you today. 9 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, right here with you. We talk about a wide variety of things. Philosophy, technology, health, safety, disability. And on weekends, the lovely Jan Marie is right here to chat with you about American Sign Language and disability and the Americans with Disabilities Act and all other kinds of interesting things. She's here Saturdays and Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern. Well, first things first, I'm celebrating a new keyboard, and I'm going to share it with you right now. I had no idea there was this kind of underworld of keyboards. That's what I'm calling it. this whole subterranean world of keyboards where you can buy your own kit to put together your own keyboards. I had no idea. I'm not going that far. I prefer to have a professional put together my keyboard so I can use it. So this is the keyboard I had been using. I had been using an Apple keyboard, which is very flat. There's no key travel. I should have that one out here too. But this is the one that I was using. This is the Keychron Q2. And as you can see, it lights up and it makes fancy colors. And you can choose how you want it to look. You can pick a different pattern, a different type of movement, I guess you'd call it, of the lights. Now, I like this keyboard, and I've been using it for about a year. But it's very noisy. And because I'm old, everything's the same color. I wish the letters were a little bit bigger. A little hard to read, and it's all gray. So it all kinds of just sinks in. So I put the lights on white, and I put it at the highest level so I can try to see the keys. And the keys themselves, the letters themselves, are in fact lighting up, as you can see, which is kind of a neat effect. And it's small, and it's heavy, and it's well built. Plastic back, steel sides. Okay, so that's what I had been using. Now I've turned this off because it was actually active. I was getting ready to show it to you, and I was hitting things, and my whole computer was going crazy because it was connected still via Bluetooth. So there's a new Keychron keyboard, which is called the Q1. And it comes in this wonderful fancy box. And you can see it's all the box, the printing is also sort of multicolored when you flash it in the light in the right way. So it's a 75% mechanical keyboard. Now, I don't know what that means exactly. What's the other 25%? Non-mechanical? If I'm guessing, and I'm not an educated guesser, I would guess that that's the lights. I would think that 25% of the keyboard, I think, is lights, and lights are maybe not mechanical. I don't know. So I'm going to carefully lift my new beautiful keyboard and show it to you because it's very, very heavy. This is the Q1. Now, as you can see, this is very beautiful. It has fancy lights, as you can see. It's easier if I tip it. You can see the lights maybe a little bit better. Now, the letters do not light up. I should peek over and say hello. Hello. This is my new keyboard. It's very big, bigger, heavier. The other one had a dedicated key for screenshots on a Mac. And these come default as Mac keyboards. But you can make them Windows keyboards. You pull off the keycaps, and they give you keycaps, and you replace it. So what I love about this is the white. It makes it much easier for my elderly eyes to see where my words are. That's metal all around. Very, very super heavy. But here's the best thing about it. Can you hear that? Oh. Not that. Can you hear this? Okay, that's me hitting the keyboard. That's me hitting the B key. And you can barely hear it. And that's what this is. This is a quiet keyboard. This is me hitting the B key. Very loud. And it sort of is annoying on a live stream to be here with you and you hear my keyboard clacking. But the totally silent keyboard is the Apple keyboard, but the keys travel that much. So, you know, which is good for speed typing, but if you really want to get into really fast typing, you need a key that has a good key travel. Goes up and down, that registers. So I'm going to type something here and say hello to you. Hello from the new keyboard. The space key's a little loud, but the rest of the keys are very quiet. Now, you didn't even know I typed that, I bet. So things are happening. In the keyboard world, I'll show you where I found this. And this is where it gets really interesting about keyboards. This is it. This is what I ordered. The Keychron Q1 QMK custom mechanical keyboard. It's been sold out for several months. And it's finally back in stock. And it's a little expensive, but you get what you pay for. It's very well built. And what I find fascinating about this is fully assembled. Okay, yes, for me, because it's me. You can pick a color, carbon black, which is what I picked. You can also have navy blue. Okay, that's what navy blue looks like. That's navy blue. You can have space gray. I like the black. Now the switches. What do you mean a switch? Phantom red. Okay, that's the switch that's in the keycap, I've learned. But you can't have phantom blue because that's sold out. So I guess that's the keycap there. That's blue. Mine are red. And then I guess there's a phantom brown that is now back in stock, and 10 minutes ago it was not in stock when I was checking this. So that's brown. I like the red. And you can have it bare bone, right? Okay, here we go. So bare bone, look. And you put it together yourself. So I guess if you're a programmer or a gamer or you want to assign keys to do certain things, you buy the unassembled version and put it together yourself. Barebone ISO. I don't know what the ISO means, but I'm always interested in learning new things, and maybe I'll figure it out one day. And there are levels. I've learned of layers of soundproofing and carbon fiber inside and all these very interesting things that I didn't really understand, but I do accept it because I like it very much. And the keyboard PCB, the case and the aluminum plate come with it. Double shot ABS keycaps are included. Additional Mac and Windows keycaps, along with keycap pullers, which is important so you can get the thing off safely. Gatoron Phantom switches, a premium coiled Type-C cable. So that's the Keychron Q1 to help start your day. Speaking of starting your day, there's really nothing worse in the big city than when you hop in the old shower and you turn on the hot water or the warm water. The lukewarm water would have been fine. To take your shower and you find out there's no hot water in the building. And you want to scream a little bit because in the big city, it's not just cold water. It is freezing cold, 33 degrees water from the outside. And it's been that way for 5 hours now. So they have not solved the problem. They've not notified anybody in the building that there's no hot water. You just find out on your own. Surprise! There's no hot water. So I washed my beautiful hair. I'm going to the dermatologist today for my monthly exam to see if we have any new outbreaks of skin cancer. So I have to do a little bit of hygiene. And I'm going to look good for you, of course. And I did shave. May not look like it, but I did with cold water. Wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. But I did not take a shower. That would have, I don't think I could have handled that because I was getting a little bit of a headache just from washing my hair in 33-degree water. But I am Wim Hof trained in being able to stand the cold water. Because Wim Hof says that is the key to a longer, better life. Is being able to tolerate the cold. And Jana and I went through cold water training. We can take a cold shower if we have to. It's just sometimes easier to go from lukewarm to a little bit cold, not to go right into 33-degree cold weather. I can't really quite handle that yet. And this is Wim Hof. He's a very interesting, wonderful guy, very smart, believes in meditation and overcoming the cold, and how cold water benefits you. And I agree with all of that. Everything he says is true and right. I also agree that it's very difficult in a modern world not to want to take a little bit of a warm shower. But he has classes, he has events, he teaches you meditation, he has an app. So I was able to sort of overcome. And cold therapy is something you really have to be committed to. And as they say, the best thing you can do is scream and shout, because that's what you have to do to overcome the shock to the system. So we'll see if we ever get notified that, hey, maybe you know by now there's no hot water in your luxury building. One of my favorite quotes is from the playwright Eugene O, whom his most famous play is probably The Iceman Cometh. Oh, he wrote Beyond the Horizon and The Hairy Ape and many other wonderful plays. Early 1900s in America, American playwright, Irish playwright. And in around 1920, he made something very interesting where he shared his thoughts on the world and the most challenging issues that Americans have to face. Perhaps the people the world over. And I agree with him, and I think about it often. And you think about coronavirus, and you think of the lower standard of education we have now in America. And Eugene O said in 1920, 100 years ago, he said this, and it's still applicable today. He said, the biggest problem we have facing us is the failure of science and technology to replace the death of the old God. Now, if you think about that for a little bit, that is really a fascinating and shocking statement. Because it means at one time in America, 100 years ago, 150 years ago, we were devout, and we were fearful of a vengeful God. And as the evolution of technology and science moved forward to solve problems, science and technology has not been able to replace the faith that many people place in their God. The death of the old God, the old vengeful God. And you still see it today, where people use religion to excuse every bit of behavior, good and bad, that they could ever think of. And that is because I believe people want to believe in something. And as we move into the metaverse and artificial intelligence and new ways of thinking, there are some among us who do not want to take that trip. They'll tangentially use this technology, but they don't want it to replace their old, dead God. They prefer to have that belief system intact. And I don't know if 100 years from now, if we're all still here, and we won't be because, as we know, 100 years, every new people, which also fascinates me, that every 100 years we have all new people in the world. Very, very few people live beyond 100 years. So everyone born today, in 100 years, will most likely be dead. All new people. So the failure of science and technology to replace the death of the old God still clings to us like a bad Benny. We cannot get rid of this old God. We are still fearful, we are still invoking the power, and we will not allow science or healthcare or education or computers or connections to be worth our belief. And that's a problem moving forward. So Janet Marie shared some wonderful photographs with us today. And as you know, we live very near the PATH station in Jersey City, and one of the main attractions of the Journal Square PATH station has always been their restrooms. And not because they're beautiful. Quite the opposite. Just because they're absolutely necessary. Because it's hard to find a restroom in Jersey City in the area of the PATH. I mean, you can go buy something, you can stand in line, but if you really you're getting off the train, or you're getting on the train for a long trip in New York, you really want a bathroom. Or you can go in there and go to the bathroom and clean yourself up. Unfortunately, in the past, those bathrooms have been used and taken over by the homeless. And I say unfortunately because it's unfortunate that the homeless have to shower in a public restroom, and it's unfortunate for people who don't want to see homeless people showering in the restroom. There is a homeless problem, and a lot of people don't care, including city governments. They don't want to build housing or provide shelter. They just want them out of sight. And so they seek refuge in places that are open, like subways and PATH stations that never close. So they've redecorated these bathrooms. It's been about a 2-year project. Nobody knows why it took that long. But here's the interesting part. You know the PATH Authority knows who's using their bathrooms, right? So the bathrooms used to be open 24/7. You go in the bathroom anytime you want. Well, not anymore, it appears. Now there are hours to use the restroom. Now, Janet Marie leaves here sometimes 5:30 in the morning. Now, unlike me, she never has to go to the bathroom. She's like a camel. Do camels go to the bathroom? Camels don't have to drink. Janet Marie drinks a lot, never has to go to the bathroom. It's an amazing feat of wonder. So these new bathrooms, beautiful bathrooms, are locked behind this gate that you can see. And they're open from 7 a.m. to 11. I guess that's the standard morning rush. 11 seems a little late for a rush hour to me, but what do I know? And then they close for 4 hours from 11 to 3 p.m. And then from 3 p.m. to 7, rush hour, they're open. And how do you do that in a 24-hour transportation hub where people sometimes get home or go to work or get off the plane at 10 o'clock at night? Thanks for the follow. 420 punch. Oh, we're getting a lot of interesting follows. Okay. Oh, this is not looking good for us. We'll see what happens with that. Getting a lot of weird stuff coming in. With what appears to be interesting usernames. Okay, we'll go to subscriber-only chat for a little while. Because something's happening and it doesn't look good. So back to the bathrooms. I don't know if these are temporary hours because they're still fixing the bathrooms. I don't know. But I do find it suspicious and a little disconcerting. And we have more photographs from the beautiful and talented Jana Marie. Here's another one showing us the hours of the bathroom. Now, this is very interesting. This wide open space that I don't think was always there. There was a lot of space there, but look, maybe that's why they have the gate down, because they don't want people in there hanging out? Homeless people hanging out? I don't know. I do find it very strange. Sorry, I'm looking at these people who were just following. And as you can see, there's a painted pillar, a male and female figure, and what looks like some kind of jukebox. But it's not a jukebox. Now this looks like Jana Marie was able to get in past the gate. I believe she took these last night. So now we're inside the new bathroom doing an investigation. And this is the most fascinating part of the whole thing for me. Vending machines so close to the bathroom. Do we worry about COVID in the poopy? That's the question. So we come in here a little closer and we look, and you can get a drink. Are we really thinking of drinking soda when we're going to the bathroom? But they do take Apple Pay and Android Pay, which I find very kind of funny. And here we go, a little snack to go in there. I guess if you have to go to the bathroom, you're going to sit down, you have a little Chips Ahoy. Have some Ridges. Have some Ruffles. Some Skinny Pop Pop. Doritos. Cheez-Its. A vending machine in a public restroom. I'd say only in New York, but this is not New York. This is Jersey City. So now Jana Marie takes us closer to the bathrooms. Now, the men's room used to be the entrance where that black door is on the right. And now it looks like they just have one door that they can lock that takes you into the women go on the right, which is where the men used to be, and the men go to the left, which seems new to me. So this is the women's restroom, I'm hoping, that Jana Marie took for us. So there's a nice mirror, lots of sinks, stalls. Very nice looking. I have to say that they spent money on this, and the old ones looked like a nightmare from the 1970s. Changing table right there. Very nice. This is the reverse. You're looking, I believe, out to get out of here. There's a little privacy wall. And the most disappointing thing to me is this trash can. I mean, why have a street trash can in this beautiful, upgraded bathroom with the sexy lighting? Maybe they're going to fix that. Maybe it's still transitioning from the old bathroom to the new bathroom. I don't know. But I do find it peculiar. But that's okay. Everything's peculiar these days. And now, my friend, we've just started. But it's time for our blood pressure break. And we will be back momentarily. And we are back from break. I'm David Boles. Thank you so much for being here. This is Boles.tv. And we are here live with you Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. You can get in touch with me by sending me an email, david@boles.tv. Well, it's been an interesting day so far. No hot water, new keyboard, and a sort of a mini raid that I believe we have successfully, for the moment only, pushed back. So more things happening in the news today. We thank so much Jana Marie for those great restroom shots from Journal Squared. It's a fascinating topic. So it must be that the prime bathing time, I can think, for the homeless must be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Oh, there's Dora. Hello, Dora. You missed all the fun. You missed my new keyboard. And then from 7 in the... then from what? 7 at night until 7 in the morning. Those must be prime bathing times for the homeless. That's why they have it all locked down. And I also think that the morning rush and the evening rush are probably times when they have a Port Authority police officer nearby to thwart any hooliganism going on in the Port Authority restrooms. So have you heard of this thing, Wordle? Now, I was never really into Words with Friends or whatever it was called. Wordle is kind of interesting, and I played it for the very first time this morning. As you can see, I played once. My winning percentage is 100%. My current streak is 1, and my max streak is 1. And it won't let me play again for 14 hours. So I guess if you're going to play Wordle, make sure you make it good, because it's not going to let you back in. And I'm not big on word games, crossword puzzles. I should be, but I'm not. But Wordle is like the old television show Lingo. Do you remember that from the 80s? Where two teams would compete against each other and try to fill in these words. Guess the word, the 5-letter word. It was a fun show. And Wordle, I don't know if it's taking inspiration from Lingo or Lingo is taking inspiration from Wordle. I don't know. But I guess Wordle was created a long time ago and people just discovered it and now are playing it. And too many people are playing it online, and that's why they restrict you to one game every 15 hours, which seems very defeating. But here's the point of it. You guess a 5-letter word, you type it into your keyboard, and then you press enter. And it's good for memory. It's good for building comprehension. It's good for building your English and your word skills. Because it's a limited scope. It's 5-letter words. That is the game. And then you have to figure out what the word is within 6 guesses. And I've guessed mine within 4. So it's sort of like Wheel of Fortune, it's sort of like a crossword puzzle, but it's also very unique. And I realize now that if I were playing this again, if I could, I would play it like they do on Wheel of Fortune. R-S-T-L-N-E. That would be my first guess of the word, because those are the most common letters. So R-S-T-L-N, and then I'd have to stop there because they won't let me put it in E because that's 6. But I didn't, I just guessed a word. For fun. Stomp, S-T-O-M-P, was my first guess, right? So the S and the M are not in the word. So it grays them out, what they call gray it out. The T and the O and the P are in the word that I'm trying to guess. But the T, the O, and the P in line 1 are in the wrong order. So next, I guessed potty, P-O-T-T-Y. Okay, the P and the O are in the right place. They're green. The T is in the wrong place. The second T, because I was playing around with it, the second T is not in the puzzle. So there's no two T's in the puzzle. And the Y is not in the puzzle. So I know my P and the O are the right position. So I put them in. Boom, boom, P-O. I guessed an S. I guessed an I. The I was right, but in the wrong order, on the wrong square. And the T, I finally figured out, okay, after all those guesses, the T is last. And then I thought and thought and thought. And the problem is I need to think more simply. Who would think that posit is the word in Wordle? Well, I did. But that's a dumb guess because no one would put that into a puzzle because no one knows the word. So I finally figured it out after thinking for a long time that the word was point. And you type that in, P-O-I-N-T, point, enter, boom. And I won. And I should retire because I'm at a 100% winning percentage. P-O-I-N-T. So the P was right, the O was right. I moved the I over. Figured out that the missing letter that I didn't have was an N, and I knew the position of the T. So if you're looking to play Wordle, it's powerlanguage.co.uk/Wordle, W-O-R-D-L-E. I'll put the link in chat. Did that not work? Wordle. Right now, most of it life for closed caption. We're chatting about. I don't know what that means. Oh, maybe I didn't copy it right? I'll try it again. Copy. Wordle. Okay, there we go. Okay. Now you can go play Wordle. It's fun. It's just that it's sort of an addicting game, and once you get the hang of it, you want to keep playing. But right now, they won't let you play. You have to wait 15 minutes. And hey, if you're in the Americas, you can order your free at-home COVID-19 test. Finally, after all this time waiting and wondering, what's happening? When can we play? And if you want to do it properly, you go to covidtests.gov.gov, and you can read that, blah, blah, and then there's a blue button, then you click on that blue button to get it delivered, and it takes you to a post office page, so this is the direct page. I'll put this in the chat link too. And you can get 4 tests per home address. So if you have a big family, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. But if you're a single person living alone, finally, the world is on your side. The tax man is not on your side, but you'll have 4 COVID tests. If you're a family of 6, 2 people, not happening. And now, we're relying on the post office to deliver these tests. I hope they're going to be good. I hope they work. 2 for me, 2 for Jana Marie. I don't know if they're instant tests or if you have to ship them in. I haven't really heard. But you put in your information, make it as your shipping address, check out now for 000, takes you to another screen, you say yes, confirm, boom, you're done. We'll see how fast they get here, though. That's going to be the interesting thing. And speaking of protecting people, which we had to do earlier by going into subscriber mode because we had some people following our live stream who had very bad usernames. We took the warning and ran with it. So we're in subscriber only mode for now because we don't want to know what's going to come next. So the new governor, Republican governor of Virginia, who is a Trumpster, but who didn't make note of that, except very quietly. Well, now we know that he is, and he's evolved this executive order saying that he's overriding the mask mandate in class. So this is his legacy that he started his first week as governor of the great state of Virginia. Recent government orders requiring virtually every child in Virginia wear masks virtually every moment they are in school have proven ineffective and impractical. And there are people say that the governor can't say you can't wear a mask because there's a state law that says if there's certain conditions, we follow the CDC recommendation, and the recommendation from the CDC is you wear a mask. So he doesn't have the authority to do this in the first place. But he wants to look good, wants to look like a tough guy. And meanwhile, the children suffer. And here is an example in the comments someone made about this ridiculous mandate from Glenn Youngkin, new governor of the great state of Virginia. Sad day when a jerk politician can decide to ignore the guidance from the CDC in regard to masks in order to appease the stupid in the population who are in favor of allowing children to be infected by a serious illness. My husband is a COVID contact tracer for one of the states. Each day he speaks to mothers and fathers of infected children. Imagine having 3 to 4 kids in your home who are all ill with COVID to varying degrees. Maybe Youngkin would like to sit in when my husband interviews the mother of a 6-month-old that she's sitting with in the hospital, who has been there for a week struggling with COVID. At this point, there is evidence that children who get COVID have a higher rate of developing type 2 diabetes. Who knows what else lies in wait for children who contracted COVID now and how it will affect them in a few years. It's disgusting that people like Youngkin and DeSantis and others like them have a forum as governor of a state to spread their lies and to do damage. And maybe it's no better in New York. In New York City, the governor sent out 250,000 N95 masks for use in schools and in libraries to protect the people. And this is what those provided N95 masks look like. Now, if you were here for the show the other day, Monday, was it Monday? Yeah, I think it was Monday. We talked about all the different kind of masks and N95 and what it means and what it looks like. And I even learned this morning that N95 is the American standard for safety. KN95 masks are the safety standard for China. But they can be made in America. But the standard they follow is that in China. And a KN94 mask is the standard in Korea. So if you want to be safe in America, buy an American-made N95 mask. Well, these look like tissue paper. And here's the tweet. They do not look like real N95 masks, Governor Kathy Hochul of New York State. These should not be distributed to teachers or to anyone. These are the N95 masks that the state of New York distributed to our local teachers. These look like they were bought off of effing Wish. I guess Wish is a website where you can buy things that people make. Maybe it's good you didn't get the masks that they were going to supply. Wow. And now Biden says he's going to make N95 masks available to every American at a pharmacy. And you can now get access to 8 at-home COVID tests via your insurance company. Now, if you've ever checked into what the insurance company is doing, they don't make it very simple for you. You have to fill out a form. You have to give them a receipt. If you're getting it out of network or through the mail or through Amazon that's convenient for you, they only cover the price up to, I think, $15. And most of these kits are like $25. So that means they're going to pay you $15 and you spend $25, but that extra remaining $10 that we're not reimbursing you for eventually, you can take your receipt and go back to your healthcare card, your FSA, HSA card, and charge the remainder of the $25 to $10 and put it on FSA card. Now, why can't they just make it simple? Why can't Biden just say, if you have a health insurance card that is valid, you can go to any pharmacy in America, present your health insurance card, and get 8 tests and leave. But it's never that simple. The companies don't want to do it. They make it difficult so that you won't do it because they're the ones who have to pay. So they don't make it easy or accessible. But on paper, it looks great. Oh, everybody gets 8 tests a month. Speaking of interesting outrages, if you're a vegan or if you're a vegetarian, there's this new thing on the horizon that's scaring people that's called lab-grown meat. And here's a very interesting link from a blog called Born Vegan. I'll put the link in chat. And the idea of this lab-grown meat is that it doesn't hurt animals. That it's cells that are grown in a lab, and you can have this steak. So the animals don't suffer because it's created in a lab, and vegans can eat it because it doesn't come from an animal, it comes from a lab. Well, I won't go through the whole article, but it's very interesting that this author makes a lot of arguments that make you wonder. The premise behind the need for lab-grown meat is wrong. People don't eat meat and dairy due simply because of lack of good alternatives. Lack of tasty and nutritional options is not the root problem driving factory farming and animal consumption. Speciesism is. A vast array of plant-based foods are already cheaply available around the world, and much of the global population, historically and today, enjoy diets with minimal animal protein. Look at another point. Lab-grown meat actively relies on animal exploitation and animal ingredients, which sort of goes against all the vegan beliefs. Lab-grown meat currently exploit animals because efforts to research, create, and scale lab meat requires that flesh biopsies be taken from living animals regularly for the purpose of extracting stem cells from them. So lab meat is just the same as meat. Lab-grown meat is speciesist and upholds the need to consume flesh. Veganism is fundamentally an anti-speciesist ideology about justice and bodily autonomy for all human beings. It's not about intentionally exploiting, killing, or using animals, no matter how justified we think it is. So take a look at that article if you're interested in how things are happening in the lab-grown meat world. And there are some vegans who say, look, I don't want a meat replacement. I don't want an Impossible Burger. I don't want Beyond Burger because they're trying to trick me into making me want the taste of meat or chicken. And I say, well, if you really are looking for the taste of meat or chicken, these replacements are not it because they really don't taste anything like it. North Korea is back in the news. Scarily so. I think they're taking their clues from Russia. Saber rattling, bomb flinging, On Monday, North Korea tested a pair of tactical ground missiles for the first time in about 2 years. I wonder why. Pyongyang state media reported the following day, saying it did so to confirm the accuracy and efficacy of the weapon system under production. The report suggested that North Korea test-fired KN-24 short-range ballistic missiles, which look similar to the U.S. MGM-140 Army tactical missile system. So Monday's test firing aimed to selectively evaluate tactical guided missiles being produced and developed, and to verify the accuracy of the weapons system. Scary stuff coming out of North Korea. Who can stop them? Who dares to stop them? Well, one man that people are trying to stop is this Donald Trump fellow. Trump University was a big failure, had to pay off people. The Trumps are no longer allowed to run a cancer charity in the state of New York because they were stealing money intended for child victims of cancer and putting it in their pockets. And now, the New York Attorney General says alleges Trump's business inflated property values, wealth, and statements. And this could be a problem because this goes to insurance, this goes to technicalities, this goes to everybody does it, and you can do that if you don't get caught. In a 160-page court filing, New York Attorney General Letitia James alleged that former President Donald Trump's business inflated the value of his properties and misstated his personal worth and representations to lenders, insurance brokers, and other players in his real estate empire. And we've known that for years, especially if you're in New York City. We know all of this about him. But nobody's ever called him on it, and nobody has ever held him responsible for it. Well, that seems to be changing now. Letitia James made the claims in a bid to see Trump and his adult children deposed under oath in a civil probe she is overseeing. So will anything happen from it? That's the question. Because this is all going to be strung out over years and years and years, and maybe a second presidency, and dismissed and flipped and trying to run out the timetable. And that's what you can do when you're a famous guy and you have a lot of money. You can delay justice. And now we're going to take a very brief break. Back in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Boles. This is Boles.tv. BOLES.tv. Thank you for being here. I appreciate seeing you today. Our friend Dora said, "What?" And I missed it. What were you whatting about, my dear friend? If you are still there. What? I think we were talking about lab-grown meat, but maybe it was something else. Maybe it was North Korea. Maybe it was the missile crisis. Oh, the teachers' masks. Oh, what a mess that was. And they sent out 250,000 of them. And they look like toilet paper. Did nobody look at them before they sent them out? Or did they just order them from some strange website? Now that's an embarrassment. Very flimsy. Yes, very, very, very flimsy. So ridiculous. And they just barely go over your ears. So if you're... There's no elastic. There's nothing that holds the mask tight to your face, even if that part was working. So I hope those aren't going to be the Biden masks that we're all supposed to go pick up from our local pharmacy. I guess they're not mailing the masks. We just have to go to the pharmacy and say, "Give me a mask?" I don't know. How are they tracking that? Maybe they don't care. I don't know why with these COVID tests and the masks, I don't know why they just don't send them to everybody. Now, I know there are people who don't want them, but I guess that's why. If we were all on the same page, I guess that's what they do. Everyone is getting a mask and everyone's getting COVID tests. We're sending them to you right now. But because so much of the country is red and they don't want anything to do with masks or safety, it's a waste of time to include them in the effort, I guess. So the other day, our friend Dora, who is with us now, was telling me something about, I thought she said Travis Barker and NFTs, voice NFTs. So I looked it up because I'm trying to find it because it sounded very interesting. And it looks like it's a guy named Troy Baker, who I guess is some famous voice actor. And he got caught up in, I guess, where it's a little bit of a scam. Selling voice NFTs that he didn't have the right to sell. The idea behind Voiceverse, I guess that's the Troy Baker thing, is that you buy the rights to a particular voice originally performed by a voice actor. There's Dora. Thanks for the update. As an NFT using planet-burning cryptocurrency. You could then use those audio rights to create your own AI-powered voice lines. However, in now deleted tweets, and there's no such thing as a deleted tweet because somehow people will find your tweets even if you delete them. Especially if it's a hot topic. But if it's just a regular person, delete your tweet. But if you're trying to hide something by deleting your tweets, I guarantee you people already have a copy. However, in now deleted tweets, Voiceverse was found to have boasted about using its tech for the voice of a cartoon character, which was in fact created using 15.ai, a popular, non-commercial text-to-speech service, which we will look at next. Unlike Voiceverse NFT, 15.ai is free to use and play around with, and we're going to. Using just 15 seconds of voice samples from various fictional characters, the 15.ai tech lets you type in text and get, say, David Tennant's 10th Doctor or GLaDOS from Portal to read what you wrote. Last Friday evening, the 15.ai creator wrote on Twitter that they were aware a Voiceverse NFT was actively attempting to appropriate my work for their benefit. So what they're doing is they're going to 15.ai, typing in interesting things, having the 15.ai voice characters say it, downloading it, uploading it to their website, the Voiceverse NFT website, and selling it as if Voice NFT created it and not 15.ai. Indeed, log files apparently showed Voiceverse NFT had used 15.ai for an AI-powered voice to be sold as an NFT. So Voiceverse NFT apologized and said, oh gosh, these were advertising people who were doing this. We didn't do this. We don't do that. We're above it and we're sorry. And the 15.ai creator guy replied to them on Twitter and said, F you. Which I thought was totally appropriate. So this is 15.ai. This is what it looks like. And that's how you get there. You type in 15.ai and you're there. And it's fun. I was playing with it yesterday. So we have to figure out some text to put in here because that's where it all starts. So let me think of something to say. Hi. Oh, there it is. I typed it yesterday. Oh, at 11 a.m. Okay. Fabulous. It's saved. Amazing. Hi there. This is David Boles on Boles dot, right? We have to type that out. D-O-T, because it's not going to read a period on TP. We live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. I used to have a numeral, and then it corrected me and said, don't put in a numeral, type it out. So I typed out 9. Hope to see you there. Plus, Janice Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekday at 11 a.m. And this is the default. The source is Portal, which I don't even know what that is. The character is GLaDOS. I don't even know who that is. And then when you're ready, you type, you click on the generate key. And then it takes just a little bit as it thinks and schemes against you. Remember to credit 15AI. Don't mix AI with other text-to-speech services. Read the guide, which is good. Okay, so this is what you get. High confidence synthesis. 3 different versions, 3 different speech patterns. And this is how the analytics of what we typed is parsed and the confidence that it has in the parsing and the algorithm used. So here we go. We'll play the first one.
Hi there. This is David Boles on Boles.tv. We live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Janice Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m.
11 a.m. Okay. Now we'll try a second one and see if this sounds a little bit different. Same voice, but a different inflection.
Hi there. This is David Boles on Boles.tv. We live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Janice Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m.
11 a.m. is not coming across. And usually the final one is the one that they believe sounds the most humanistic.
Hi there. This is David Boles on Boles.tv. We live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Janice Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m.
Very tremulous voice, the first one, yes. So this was Portal GLaDOS. Now we're going to try another character in Portal, Sentry Turret. I have no idea what this is, but I'm clicking generate, and we're going to see what happens. Parsing the model. Same phrases, different character voice. And the whole idea is that you're supposed to trick the ear into thinking that this is actually the person speaking it. And what these voice versus NFT people were doing is then clicking the download button of these generated files and then selling these files that you just heard on their website, making people pay for them when it's free. This is terrible.
Hi there. This is David Boles on Boles.tv. We live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Janice Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m. Hi there. This is David Boles on Boles.tv. We live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Janice Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m.
They have a problem with the AM.
Hi there. This is David Boles on Boles.tv. We live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Janice Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m.
Very good. I'm going to say 11 in the morning because the AM is not working. Oh, I'm out of time. That's why. At 11. Every weekend mornings at 11. Let me see if I can do that. Every weekend mornings at 11. See? It doesn't want you to type numbers because they don't know if it's at 11 or a 1-1. Every weekend at, okay. Every weekend morning at 11. Every weekend. Oh, I'm just leaving it AM. Okay, so those are the robotic voices. Let's see if we can find some real voices. If I knew any of these, I would feel better. We'll try 2001: A Space Odyssey. HAL 9000. Now, you can't resist that if you're any kind of space freak like me. So we're going to have HAL speak that in our voice. And you could use this as a promo if you wanted to. You just have to say, hey, we got it from 15.ai, and we're not charging you. You're just listening to it for us.
Hi there. This is David Boles on Boles.tv. We live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Janice Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m.
Yana Sweeney.
Hi there. This is David Boles on Boles.tv. We live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Janice Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m. Hi there. This is David Boles on Boles.tv. We live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Janice Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m.
Very interesting. I don't think it sounds like Hal, but it sounded a little more human. Now let's try Doctor Who, because these are supposed to be real people. Okay, so this is the 10th Doctor Who doctor. I don't know what those emojis do. It's supposed to add some kind of emotional context. I could never make it work, so I just click generate. And we'll see what Doctor Who has to say.
Hi there, this is David Boles on Boles.tv. We live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Janice Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m.
Okay, a little fast.
Hi there, this is David Boles on Boles.tv. We live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Janice Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m.
And the final one is supposed to be the most natural sounding.
Hi there, this is David Boles on Boles.tv. We live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Janice Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m.
Now, not to be outdone, maybe undone is the proper thing. Google has one of the most interesting text-to-speech Here, I'm going to put AI, 15 AI in the chat. 15.ai equals 15.ai. Now here we go with Google. I love the Google. High fidelity speech. Very natural sounding. Very warm. Very interesting. And you can type something in here, a limited time, but you can type something. I'm going to put in what we just heard over there on 15.ai, and we're going to see how Google Cloud Man translates the text to speech. The default locale is English, United States. The audio device profile is the default. The voice type is wave.net. The voice name is wave.net. Okay. The speed and pitch. So these are just the defaults. And see how it compares to 15.ai.
Hi there. This is David Boles on Boles.tv. We live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Jana Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m.
Now that's almost 100% perfect, and to my ear, very natural sounding. Now, as much as I played around with this yesterday, I could not get him to say live stream. He says live stream. Now there has to be something I need to spell it phonetically. What if I went, we have an a live stream each weekday. Let's see what he does with that.
Hi there. This is David Boles on Boles.tv. We have an live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Jana Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m.
Yeah, language is a hard word to pronounce because it has a guttural sound at the end, and he stumbles over it just a little bit, but I find it very convincing. I love the voice. Now the pitch, we can lower the pitch. Okay, we can speed it up. Let's see what happens.
Hi there, this is David Boles on Boles.tv. We have a live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Jana Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m.
Yeah, that ruined it. What if we really slowed it down and increased the pitch?
Hi there. This is David Boles on Boles.tv. We have a live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Jana Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m.
Now, that's how they made Nancy Pelosi sound drunk. Remember that, where she was speaking and then they slowed down her speech and it slowed down the video, which slowed down her speech and made her sound drunk. So we go from this bright, golden-voiced, artificial intelligence speech-to-text person, and we slow him down, and we mess with his pitch, and suddenly, he's a little bit too drunk. And we don't like it.
Hi there, this is David Boles on Boles.tv. We have a live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Jana Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m.
I'm trying to find where the defaults were on this. The speed is a little too fast.
Hi there, this is David Boles on Boles.tv. We have a live stream each weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Plus, Jana Sweeney teaches American Sign Language every weekend at 11 a.m.
Now, it's very interesting as you keep scrolling down the page. They have custom voice models using your own audio recordings to create unique and more natural sounding voice for your organization. You can define and choose the voice profile that suits your organization and quickly adjust to changes in voice needs without needing to record new phrases. So Like for a voicemail system, probably, is what they're talking about. So how do you do a custom voice? Go to console, contact sales. Yeah, that's going to cost you some money.
According to Science Direct, a flexed posture is characterized by an increased thoracic kyphosis. Contact Center AI brings the best of Google AI to customer service. We'll continue to bring AI to everyone.
Very interesting, right?
Hi, this is Freddy's Pizza. I can help you order one of our 5 popular pizzas: cheese, pepperoni, supreme, meat fest, or veggie heaven. Contact Center AI brings the best of Google AI to customer service.
These are all fake voices that are typed in.
We'll continue to bring AI to everyone.
Fabulous. So there you have it. That's the Google and the text-to-speech. And they do this, there's online somewhere they have Barack Obama saying interesting things that he never said because they sampled his voice and typed in things that he says. And it's fun, and it's funny, but imagine if it weren't funny. If someone was trying to hurt him. Or hurt you. And that's the danger of having a podcast or having live stream, is people can record your voice and put it into AI and make you say things that you never said and that you never wanted people to know. But again, I guess that's the world in which we live now. You just have to be careful, and you have to hope that there are people out there who are a little smarter than the rest of us and can put things together and know when they're being fooled. Break time. Back in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Boles. This is Boles.tv, Monday through Friday, live every day right here, 9 a.m. Lovely to have you with us. Interesting day so far. Lots of things going on. Fascinating topics happening. And what strikes me about this whole NFT thing and auction things is how easily people can be deceived. There are people who are going into museums in Paris, taking photographs of the Mona Lisa, other great works of art, going home, making an NFT out of them, uploading them, and selling them, as if they are the owner and the copyright holder of these famous paintings. And I guess people are buying them because why would they be doing it if they weren't making money? Well, Dune was a big movie. It was made into a movie by David Lynch, just had one by Denis Villeneuve. And there's this very interesting version of Dune that was sort of an artistic interpretation that didn't really go anywhere, but that doesn't stop people from wanting to talk about it. And this is what it looks like. Trying to figure out how to get to other... Oh, here are the other pictures. So this is up for sale, auction at the Christie site. Interesting drawings. What does it all mean? It's the insider view of this, I guess, cartoon take on Dune. And it's very popular. It's been around a long time. And it sold in November for 2.6 million euro. Which is what, $10 million in American? What? No. 3 million perhaps. Okay, so sold. Big deal. Okay, wonderful. So the people who bought that book bragged on Twitter saying, hey, we won the auction for the book. 2.66 million euro. Now we have a mission. Number one, we want to make the book public to the extent permitted by law. That means they want to share it, but only if they can do it legally, okay? Little bit of virtue signaling going on there. They want to produce an original animated limited series inspired by the book and then sell it to a streaming service. So they're already trying to get their money back on the money they spent to buy this book. Third, we want to support derivative projects from the community, meaning that you could take this idea and write a sequel to it. And I'm sure they wouldn't want any rights to anything that you do, right? So they announced that on Twitter on January 15, 4 days ago. And the internet was quick to point out that the book is already available to view online for free. Spending 2.66 million euro on a book that's already available in the public domain. And that purchase of the book does not grant Spice DAO, Spice DAO, Tau, the rights to produce works based on its content. An NFT series, for example, would likely be met with a lawsuit from the actual copyright holders currently held by the Herbert Limited Partnership, the author of the original Dune book. Around 10 copies of the book, in which the French-Chilean director compiled his concept artwork and notes for the film, are believed to exist. The book itself became widely known after the release of the 2013 documentary, Jodorowsky's Dune, a film that chronicles the ambitious but ill-fated production that we just saw photographs of. which was scrapped once it was deemed too long and too expensive to ever produce. In the mid-1970s, Jodorowsky envisioned a 14-hour film, which is probably the right idea, produced in collaboration with Herbert, who released the novel in 1965. Salvador Dali, famous painter, was billed to act in the film, requesting a fee of $100,000 per hour, with Pink Floyd and others set to produce the soundtrack. And this is how you get burned in these NFT worlds. Because here's the book. Jodorowsky's Dune, shared on Google Photos. Everything they paid $2.66 million for, you can now have for yourself for free online. The whole book is there for you. And they don't have the rights to do anything with it, streaming rights, invite you to write your own novels based on the book. All they did was buy pages in a book. They didn't buy rights to anything. That's what they bought. And I can't believe they didn't know that's what they were buying. Now, if there are only 10 of these books in the whole wide world, well, then it has some value. But does it have 2.66 million euros? I would think probably not. And I'm scrolling through this fast because I just want you to get a taste that everything that's in the book has already been put online. Is it legal to put this online on Google Photos? I don't know, but it's still there. And we're not even halfway through, but we're going to keep going because it's just, you're letting it wash over you. This is obviously, the book is the storyboard for how this director was planning to tell the story on the screen with wonderful characters. It's wonderfully well thought out, and it's too bad it couldn't happen, because this would have been made about 5 years after the book was released. It would have been, I believe, the definitive version of Dune. And it needed to be 14 hours. It really did. It needed to be 7 2-hour films. Because it's a big, stretching, wide-ranging, generational, fantastic book. And no movie producer has done any sense of honor or value to it. And even this new Villeneuve version we just got, they're calling part 1, but I don't think he has the money to do part 2. So why do part 1 in the first place if you're not going to finish the story? It's just so ridiculous. They should have done part 1 and part 2 at the same time. Even if it would have cost an extra $500 million. That's how you do it, because it won't get made if it doesn't happen. You don't want half the story. Speaking of NFTs, China's government banned cryptocurrency. We know that. They don't want it traded, they don't want it mined in China. But China's government is pursuing other uses of blockchain technology and non-fungible tokens, NFTs, as long as the technology stays under the control of the state. This month, Blockchain Services Network, a Chinese state-backed blockchain company, plans to roll out infrastructure that would allow individuals and businesses in China to make, sell, and buy NFTs. So that's very interesting. And you wonder how they can code this in their mind that, hey, blockchain bad, NFTs will allow. It doesn't make any sense. And now we get into something that's even more interesting about Chinese dialects and how some of them are fading and some of them are being pressed forward. 2 years ago, Qi Yao Yao visited his mother's hometown in Zhaozing in eastern China. When he tried to speak to his cousin's children in the local dialect, she was surprised. None of them was able to. The decline in local dialects among the younger generation has become more apparent in recent years as China's President Xi Jinping has sought to strengthen a uniform Chinese identity. Mandarin is now being spoken by more than 80% of China's population, up from 70% a decade ago. Last month, China's State Council vowed to increase the figure to 85% within the next 4 years. But the popularization of standard national language is often at the expense of regional languages, including dialects of the Han majority of ethnic languages such as Mongolian Uyghur. In Inner Mongolia, for example, local regulations in 2016 allowed ethnic schools to use their own languages for teaching. The policy was aimed at developing students' linguistic skills and cultivating bilingualism. But 4 years later, it was reversed to favor Mandarin, and that sparked protests from the ethnic minorities. It's not just ethnic languages that are being affected. In 2017, a survey circulated online showed that among the top 10 dialect groups, Wu Chinese, which includes the Shanghai dialect and is spoken by about 80 million people in the eastern part of the country, has the smallest number of active users aged between 6 and 20. It prompted concern among linguists in the region. In Shanghai, where she grew up, activists have campaigned to encourage use of their dialect for many years. The government responded by upgrading the local Huzhu Opera Annual Festival to a municipality-level activity. This success encouraged Xi, but he is realistic about how much activists can accomplish. In 2014, the TV program Shanghai Dialect Talk on Shanghai Doko TV was taken off the air after the government insisted on the use of standard Mandarin for the channel to be broadcast nationally. Chinese laws prevent satellite TV channels from broadcasting in local dialects. So there you have it. China, no cryptocurrency, but we'll take all the NFTs you can sell us. Now, there's Dora. She's back from a work call. Yes, we were talking about dialects in China and how Mandarin is the one that the state is pushing and how there are regional dialects that are now outlawed, even though 90 million people speak them, and the kids who are in school being taught by the state have no recollection of these local languages in the 6 to 20-year-old age range. And linguists are linguistically upset that those other languages and dialects that are regional, that a lot of people speak, are just going to die out because the state wants China to have one language only, and it is Mandarin Chinese. So it's a bit dismaying, thinking you spent 2.66 million euros on buying a book from Christie's that you think you own the rights to and that you can sell as NFTs and make streaming service sitcoms out of it. And then the rest of the world tells you, hey, there are 10 of those books. The rights belong to Frank Herbert, not you. And the book you bought is 100% online for free viewing on Google Photos. And how's your day? So it's been a wonderful stream. We talked about a lot of very interesting things. Masks are troublesome. COVID tests are troublesome. The whole world is spinning out of control. But I do have a new keyboard, and I'm happy about that. We will hope, crossing our fingers and our toes, that we will have hot water tomorrow, so we will not take a freezing cold 33-degree shower in the morning. And now I'm off to the dermatologist for my monthly skin cancer check. I wish you a wonderful day. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, you can email me, david@boles.tv. If you'd like to get in touch with Jana Marie, her email address is jana@boles.tv. Thank you, Dora. I appreciate that. I think it'll go well. The last 6 months have just been going there, getting checked, getting an acid pencil touched on my face several places, and then I go sit in front of the blue light for 10 minutes and I go home. So it's been non-dramatic. And we hope it continues. On Twitter, we are at David Boles. Facebook is Boles. Instagram. Yes, we're on Instagram. Boles Books, username. TikTok, Boles TV. And our Discord server is David Boles. I hope you have a wonderful day, a great evening. Take care of yourself. Remain stoic. The world is upon you and around you, and you will ride it to the very end. I will see you tomorrow.